gonna do this one quick. It's not gonna be too long. Uh, it is Good Sunday if you believe in that. Easter, resurrection already happened. Um, I know a lot of people probably say you can't. I can't hear you, BMT. So I'm gonna actually bring it close. There we go. Um, things about having um. I was having a discussion. I was having a discussion with a few men, and it was on that of the practice, or they wanted to talk about masculinity. And they said, well, it's because of, and there were tons all kind of reasons and stuff why they wanted to discuss that. And I was like, what did you do, or what do you do, or what is it up to there? And they're like, why does it matter? Why does it matter? We want to talk about man and masculinity. And an older man that was listening in, what's going on, Mike? An older man that was listening in said something that was very defiant, that really made me kill the conversation with him. And he was like, young man, you. He pointed at me. He said, you never have a conversation about manhood. What's going on, V Dub? I don't know who blocked you, V Dub. It wasn't me. I would never have blocked you. I don't know who is, but I'm about to start snatching wrenches. I don't know who blocked you, family. But the older man told me in front of those other men, don't you ever have a conversation. Don't you ever have a conversation about manhood and masculinity with males. He didn't call them men. He said with males that know nothing about sacrifice. And the other guys, they felt a certain type of way when he said that. And to all of y'all who are in the chat, that are coming in, and I want you, women sit down, men sit closer. I want the women sit down, but I want the men to sit closer. I want the men to sit closer. And I want to actually talk with you. And I want the women to listen and understand that and heed the words of that of a man. Men should never have a conversation with males about manhood and masculinity with people who are not willing to sacrifice, with people who are not willing to shed blood, sweat, tears, give up their time, press the measure of their mindset and values and spirit and physique. You should never have conversations with dogs or males. Excuse me, I don't want to be disrespectful. You should never have conversations with them about manhood and masculinity. I sacrifice every day. I put my body on the line. I put my mind to the brake, but sometimes, and see, a lot of people, your statistics and your thinking processes cannot define or ping me in my masculinity on what I do. Because I'm governed by a higher tier of law. And men that hear this understand this. Men who hear this and what I'm saying, it's echoing deep into us, because this is why Good Sunday is so prophetic. When I heard about this, when I listened to that story, but my daughter's reading on her tablet, listening to the story about Good Sunday and about Easter, and I was like, don't listen to that bunny. Look at that man that's going to get martyred for his belief, for his children. And my daughter said, "Well, would you do that, Daddy?" My child said, "Would you die for me?" Over and over again. "Would you cry for me?" Yes. "Why?" I said, "A man doesn't need a reason why. He sacrifices for what he believes in. It's my belief. It's my doctrine. It's my compass. I do what I do for you, and I put things on the line so that way you can flourish." See, that is the beauty of one being a man, to make dreams and chase them into a reality, to work the labor of the fields to the highest horizon. You see, all this sexual talk stuff is beneath me. All this game talk is beneath me. I'm talking about actual, and this is no slight to anybody who's talking about those things, but they have their space and I have mine. I take honor and pride in what I have built in my kingdom. The measure of my masculinity and my manhood is not by that of women, of money, but in the notches and scars and scratches and work and hard blood, sweat, and tears that I put in to the work of building. No matter what, at the cornerstone of civilization, there will always sit a man. I don't believe in that man of spirit shit. YouTube didn't make me. I made me. I don't need doctrines or what paperwork or I never read any papers. I never studied any books, any teachings. I just am moving according to the law of nature of man. I knew I was supposed to work, toil, sweat, blood, tears, and build. I think one of the things about it when it comes to that, being a man, is understanding that you are going to go through something. See, that's the problem that we're facing. The males, what's going on? The males that want to be in the masculinity conversation don't want to take and go through their strides and earn their stripes. They don't want to take their punches in life. They don't want to put the time in. You want access to the women and children. You want access to that of the kingdom, but you don't want to put in work into building the kingdom. And this is not telling y'all got to go out and have children. It's not about making babies. An animal can make babies. Anybody can make babies. Let's get that out the way. All these scars across me and all the stuff I done seen and built through valleys, man. What are you willing as men? See, that's the thing about it that when I speak to y'all There's no animosity. I have no hatred because any of y'all. But I understand some of the males are lost babes. They're afraid. They're afraid. No different than a child when the first time they're in the bathtub, they're afraid. They reaching out, trying to get back onto something dry that is stable, and they're like, I'm scared. I'm so used to taking my licks in life. I'm not afraid. I'm so used to being cursed and damned by society. What women say on some ism of feminism or colorism, that shit don't bother me. But at the end of the day, I'm a man. I was born into this world with adversities. I will die in this world. But how I choose to go out, that's on me. And when you tell that to some men, when you start talking about sacrifice, they get scared. We don't got nothing to talk about. I'm not impressed when people tell me about their little how much money they got. What that mean to me? I'm not impressed as a man when you tell me how much women that you done betted. Why do y'all males keep going to men telling us about how much women y'all lay down with? Is that the measure of your masculinity as a man? Hmm? Then you never knew what manhood was. Why do you keep telling me about your money and your pocket? You think that impresses me as a man? You can have all the money you want. Don't mean I fuck with you. You can say you had the baddest woman. Don't mean that we love you. Don't mean that we actually give a damn about you. You see, I understand this is why the masculinity and the manhood conversation has barely been bleated out and draped. I'm having a manhood talk. This is why y'all, this is why people don't understand me. See, I sit with people, but I understand people don't understand me. And some of y'all men, y'all wasting y'all time talking with these dogs. They may look like you, they may mimic you, but they're not trying to go through what you go through or deal with that. Yes, come in. Happy Easter. You see, the problem is that we have where a lot of people who think that they're a certain age should have right and access to the same talking points everyone else do. It is what it is. I tell people just because you're an older man, don't mean I listen to you. Because I ask you, what have you done with yourself? What have you done with your life? What have you built? My dear sir, you have no kingdom. How does one tell one that is building how to be a king? You have no kingdom or throne to sit on. Well, look at the money I have. What does that mean to me? Do people sit at your table on Good Easter and sup with you? Do they honor you? Do they cry out to your name? Or do they tolerate you? See, I'm watching a lot of men get put into the goddamn. See, this is the thing about I'm seeing about a lot of men now. A lot of men now are getting put into that goddamn home, in that hospital, in that hospice care. And they fade away out of existence. Nobody come to see them. Nobody come to deal with them. Nobody come to even try to even say, God bless you. And as they sit there, I had one man grab my hand and said, Brother, will you come back to see me? That's what one man asked me. I said, I can't promise you that. I said, what did you do with your time? I asked that. That was another man. I asked him, you 64 years old. What did you do with your time? Man, like, he started telling me some of his story. I said, there you go. You now have time to reflect in it in your shell. See, I put all my time in, punch back out. And I know you'll get these horror stories and all this other stuff. And people say, well, there you go, BMT. Talking about men again. See, you're too weak to handle what I say. I watch how some of these men and these women talk about colorism. Colorism don't have no sway around my kingdom. What's going on, bro? I don't have them kind of those conversations. I kill them off quickly. If you're a prominent man building certain conversations and certain talking points, you can easily snuff out the BS. And see, that's the thing about it. Some guys like seeing the fire. They like the chaos because it takes the focus off of them and what they need to be doing. Y'all can say the women, the women, the women. Women don't stop me from doing what I need to do as a man. They can try to slow down. And it has happened. I'm not going to lie. But it ain't going to stop me. At the end of the day, that woman is still going to a higher frequency of a higher power that is written and done by a man. So at the end of the day, she's still within the laws of a man. And I am a man. So she's on my playing board. But see, what you have going on right now, you have a lot of men. They want to be on the woman's playing board. This is why you hear these conversations. And they're starting to try to want to take the cards and they want to put their cards into the men and masculinity conversation. What I do, I just take your cards out and say, I don't give a fuck about that shit. What do you mean? Like, no, it sounds like you're selfish, ignorant. What did you do with yourself? Nothing. Telling me about how you sleep with young women that don't impress me. I can go sleep with young women all day long. Why do y'all measure y'all masculinity off of y'all wee-wees, off of y'all penis? If that ain't some weak beta bitch mindset, why do y'all think about having chains and cars and stuff? See, that's that shit That's that stuff that shows that of the intelligence of a weak man. Look at my car. Look at my truck. When y'all start getting into what I got talking points, that's when you lose. Because what you're trying to do, you're trying to shame the manhood and masculinity out of the conversation. Good morning, good sisters, good women. I asked the women to take a seat because I'm talking to the men. See, I can command that. I can easily command that. Because as I speak, women understand my manhood and masculinity. And it's not no disrespect. See, males think that they're winning when they can get certain women to act a disgusting, belligerent type of way. I don't care for what you do with whores. I don't care for the women that you find on social media. My main thought process and goal there we go. Sorry about that. The conversation. There we go. The conversation. There we go. Can y'all hear me? Good. The conversations are being moved. I've had people come to me and talk to me about stuff about BMT, you did this. BMT, you've been through that. BMT, you look like this. BMT, I'm like, listen, what? Tell me, you can tell me my story because that's my story. But you can't be the author and finisher. You can't be the author and finisher because that's me. I love what I do. I love the work I put in. I'm not afraid. See, a lot of men are afraid. Mhm. A lot of men are afraid, and that's fair. That's fair. You got a lot of women that they don't want to make sacrifices for. They don't want to make sacrifice, and so you got a lot of people saying, "Well, the women should do this, the women should do that." But I'm like, "Well, a woman will build her nest in a solid tree. See, a bird, they like to put their nest in a tree that's solid and that can bear leaves that has good firm ground where grub and all that stuff come around it. A lot of these men are firmly rooted. See, that's a problem that we ain't discussing. And if a man can't be firmly rooted, how can he have things that can come around it and flourish? Even a dead tree can get all kinds of things to come to it, but that don't mean it's a healthy tree. That's why it gets cut off the ground. And we have this thing going on where people believe they should have that entitlement of discussion. No, you're not entitled. You're not entitled. You should be entitled because you're not willing to put in the work. That's all I got to say. You have a good morning. Take care. Peace.